Hello, beautiful people, persons. I love you so much for joining me again. And today I have a single quote that I would like to start the video with, and it says that your actions must. Okay, so the quote for the fourth time: your actions must match your ambitions. Such a nice quote from Gary Vee, and somehow I'm just taking this all the way to my heart because I'm still, having this dream about creating content on YouTube, and yet I'm not really pushing it that much. So here I am, finally working on it again. So this week I'm actually on the book, yes, the children books that I talked about in the past. There were really nice updates about it, and today we are finally in the very last stages before the printing. So I just contacted the printer service, and what is actually quite interesting is that something is having it drawn in the computer, and a second thing is actually getting out it from the printer, meaning that the colors, right, all those details that actually are tied with the physicality of the things, that's something that I have never experienced. So that's why I'm still now in a close contact with the service, where I'm discussing different proportions or different you would say ratios of the colors that are the CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. So those are the colors that you actually print with. They are not RGB, that are actually in computer red, green, blue. So that's just a little detail that is quite crucial for printing. And so I just also recently learned about the black in the Illustrator that I'm using for drawing, which means that I was just using not really a black color, but it was more like a charcoal. Yeah, I hope it's pronounced like that, but it was just like a gray black. So that's why I was having all my prints like rather grayish in the blacks. And so that's quite also an interesting fact that I had to go through all those little Googling and watching YouTube video thing, dig really deep into the rabbit hole. And now I'm finally having it all kind of settled. So it's just now in the process of me changing the colors for every piece of the drawings. And I was also optimizing a little bit of the graphics. So as I had a little bit of time in between the last update, now I can see that there are things that need to be changed. And with that, I also, but we kind of wish to have it more like a really proper book, which means that you actually need an international series something book number. Yeah, it's actually the ISBN. You might have heard about it. It's just written on every book. And so with that, there are certain rules that your book needs to have. So I was actually requesting this number from the local sort of, you would say, local provider. Each country has a local provider that is not kind of somehow in connection with the head of the ISBN organization. And so I think in last week we got that number also with the barcode, which is actually exciting now, being so close to the printing. And so I never actually thought we would come to this point. And so I'm just occasionally checking the sound as usual. So with that number, there are also certain things that needs to be mentioned in the back cover, let's say. And I never heard about it either. So besides the designing, there are also some sort of, you would say, rules or laws for actually printing a book, and what is also kind of interesting is that they actually require you to send at least, I think there were like 4 or 5 copies to the libraries. So imagine that the book that you kind of make then gets to sit somewhere in a library, which is for some reason now I got like super excited about publishing this really I would say, it's just a book with pictures. So is it even called a book? Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I guess hopefully it's also relevant and will be relevant in all those libraries, the public libraries. So someone might just borrow it to take it with them to home. So yeah, this is it is awesome. Yeah, to be honest, it is awesome, and so that just pushes me more and more towards really getting it done. And so the last part of today's update is the motivation. And so now I'm rereading a book by Jim Rohn, The 7 Strategies for Happiness and Wealth. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, it's somewhere here. And in the very first chapters, he defines, what is happiness, what is success, what is discipline, and then there's a chapter right after it with the goal setting. And so goals are usually the outcome of having some sort of dream. So that's how you kind of make it more concrete or by putting it into a goal that is achievable. And then there are a few factors that actually influence or have a direct impact on whether you actually achieve it or not. And one of it is the motivation, right? Like why you want to do certain things, why you want to be a YouTuber or I don't know, whoever you want to be. And so beside having all those dreams and goals, one needs to also ask herself why, right? So why we, or me and my wife, are pushing this book so much, or why do I want and still kind of I'm on this path of going to be a YouTuber one day. So that's quite an interesting fact, or a thing that everyone, I think, needs to answer this for themselves. Because if you don't really know it, then you just are on that ship or boat and it just sails somewhere, and and you don't even know why. So that's quite an interesting sort of insight into goal setting that I kind of forgot. So with that, thank you so much for again joining my weekly update whatever session, and I will gladly see you in the next one. And until then, please take care and a lot of love. Ciao. This is like a little extra as in Marvel movies, when you wait until all the credits are, after all the credits are, how do you say when the credits end? Yeah, but anyways, you know what I'm talking about, right? There was a really nice last, or how do you say, post-credit scene in the last, how do you call that guy with Wolverine? The Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah, that was really cool post-credit scene. So, right? So anyways, what is also kind of interesting and is now sort of pulling me into all the directions is seeing other creators and kind of want to be like them. And then in a way, just wishing if I was having that, or if I had that city where they live in, or if I had that environment, the camera, whatever. It's really strange, because what I'm realizing more and more, and it's actually obvious, but you don't really, kind of accept it, is that the circumstances are not the thing that you need. It's more about the creativity, and that's that's the reality, right? It just means that you are, I'm not that as good, or the creative within the frame that I have. So this is just a quick reminder. It's not like a post-credit scene after the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, but if you have anyone that you kind of look up to, or you like their content or the way they're successful, it's not because you don't have what they have. It's more about what you can do with what you have.